Welcome to our IndianaMat Guerrilla Radio episode 37, birthday episode. So here we go. It's lots of fun. I have Mike Reiser here. We're ready to rock and roll. Mike, how are you doing this evening?
Great. I'm doing fantastic. Just enjoying 10 years of greatness.
Yes.
In Indiana. I ate a bunch of birthday cake earlier.
Nice. Okay, we should get comments on, make sure we are actually getting audio and stuff. It's our 10th birthday. I have some coaches and referees meeting tomorrow night, so that's why we're not doing our regular Monday night episode. So, how was the Harvest Classic yesterday?
Great. A little bit of a down year. I mean, losing a team like Perry Meridian is difficult for that tournament. Obviously that's a stacked team. Rankings-wise, they're always going to have, 7 to 10 wrestlers that are ranked. So you pull a team out like that. They replaced them with Homewood Flossmoor. They didn't bring a full squad. They had a couple kids that looked solid, but no finalists. So that's difficult. Portage is kind of down. Not down, but they're young at some spots, but that's going to be happening when they have the run that they're having. When you're graduating Casper McIntosh and Jeremy Torres, Drake Guerrero, Colin Pointer, you're going to have a lot of talent.
Yeah.
I think Penn had like 4 or 5 guys out of their lineup that are ranked. I know Rockney Hurley wasn't there. Vince Sparrow wasn't there. Adam Berta wasn't there. Noah Brown wasn't there. Jeffrey Harper, who's in the semi-state rankings, didn't wrestle. So when you don't have those guys in there and it's early, Penn usually does pretty well in football. I'm sure the teams that are always competing in football are probably at that point right now where they're starting to get guys ready to compete. So a little bit down, but not too bad. A lot of good matches. You get to see a lot of 106 is always an interesting one because there's a lot of young guys. You want to see how they compete, and they had a couple tough guys there. 132 was a really good weight. Logan Hill from Penn, who was a returning state qualifier, and Reese Rodriguez had an awesome semifinal match. Went to rideouts. Reese Rodriguez won that, and then Reese Rodriguez and Ricky Hegedus had an awesome match in the finals where Ricky got into the hole, I think 5-0, came all the way back, won 9-7 in overtime. So,
it's always a good event. I always like watch. That's a good way to see. Tournaments are always nice to see those guys that you got to see how good they are. And you have a tournament, just like where we were at Shamrock Duels, there are a lot of ranked guys, a lot of good teams, but not everyone hit. Not all the best kids hit. And, you don't. We were talking about this before. You have those guys, and you want to see the best guys, but at the same time, it just depends on how your team does and how their team does, and you never know who you're going to hit.
Yeah, and Lake Central does a good job. It's well ran. We got out there really early. I felt like there wasn't a ton of upset. All the rankings held up there, which is good. Maybe I know 1-2-20 went down in the semis. That was ranked. He lost to an Illinois kid, but. Dominic Murphy from Brother Rice, who's ranked in Illinois, wrestled DJ Washington. It was an exciting match. Washington ended up getting a tech fall, but he's an exciting guy to watch. I think everyone else kind of dominated the weights. So there wasn't like a ton of super close weights. I know Fowler dominated. Across the board, like the guys that were ranked higher all kind of did that. Those are the days that everyone comes up and like, that ranking held up. Like, not at Westfield.
Yeah.
But there's a kid there from South Bend, Washington. He was the OW. He has one leg. His name's Ethan Forrest, and he was a 182-pound champ, which was pretty cool. And then they give all the coaches the opportunity to vote for the outstanding wrestler, and it was close. He ended up winning, kind of beat out some of the Portage guys, who obviously are really impressive. But kind of talking to the Portage coaches, they said if they would have won, they would have gave it to him too, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah. What year is that guy?
I think he's a senior.
Senior, okay.
But I'm not positive.
That's a big dude. If he's 182 without a leg. Yeah, I know they always talk about in NCAAs when Robles won with at 125. They said, he has a body of a 141 or 149 pounder. Geez, Must be a heavy.
Oh
He
yeah,
must be a heavyweight.
yeah. And he doesn't wrestle like Robles on his knees. He just kind of hops around, keeps it back. It was pretty amazing, honestly.
Nice.
And he had wrestled there before, but I don't. I think his best finish there was sixth.
Definitely. I'm earmarking that one for a nice Monday Madness article. Definitely worth the
Yeah.
worth the listen to. It's also that's why I love wrestling because it's you're wrestling someone your own weight and everything else is up to you. You got to play to your strengths, whether you're tall, lanky, short, stocky, one leg, two legs, things like that, and that's always pretty cool. So
Oh yeah. I mean, you see it every year.
yeah,
When you were at Westfield, that's a great day of duels.
yeah, it was a real, good long day. It wasn't too long. It actually went pretty smooth. It's a great event. We like going down there, seeing a lot of different competition. I mean, we saw Northview, we saw Westfield, we saw Fishers, Roncalli, and Crown Point. It's good to see a lot of different teams, seeing different refs. I know I like my kids seeing different refs just mainly because you get in an area and you get used to the way people call things and get to semi-state or state and you see these refs and you don't know how they call things. So that's always good from an administrative standpoint. But yeah, it was a great day of wrestling. Roncalli and Carmel came down to the last match. Some upsets in that duel, and according to Pandowski, they're from I don't know, from talking to him a couple times, he had from 3 to 14 guys that play football that are still not they didn't have their practices in or they weren't ready. I don't know. It varied every time. I was like, I talked to you 14 times, you give me 14 different answers. Oh, Watkins is. Should we just tell Watkins he's watching? Should we tell him what the seed should be?
No, if we did, he'll do them completely opposite. He does a good job of seeding that. I think every year there's always a bunch of matches. I always want to say like, oh, I want to see this one early on, and he does an amazing job.
Yeah. That's all.
We got a heavy region representation on here.
Yes. It's the region Gorilla Radio. Come on, we got some other people from people from Fort Wayne can comment. I know Wyatt Miller, you're watching. It's a Sunday night, so I don't know if we will have our usual crew of people watching, but they'll be watching later. Real good day of wrestling and lots of good matches. Crown Point's pretty tough down low, as we all know that's not a secret, and those guys are
right.
tough. I know one of our assistant coaches I was talking to, he's watching Mendez and. He's like, man, that kid's pretty good. Yeah, he's like, what was he, like state placer, state champ? I go, freshman. He's like, okay, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
He didn't realize that. He's like, okay, that's a pretty good freshman. So I know. I mean, he's usually pretty well up on the things, but just kind of, not when you're not the head coach anymore, you kind of don't pay quite as much attention. But yeah, so it's pretty neat. Pretty good to see those types of guys, and our kids saw a lot of good competition. I know Roncalli is pretty tough, top to bottom. Their kids don't get pinned, which is frustrating for if you're wrestling them as a coach.
But that's the difference between a good team and I'm not saying that you guys are a bad team, but they're going to win a lot of those big duels like that. The guys that are going to save points.
Yeah, definitely.
We got some hammers there too.
And our kids did that against Westfield. It was a real good duel with Westfield. Came down in the last couple matches, and they tried a little bit of switcheroo. I mean, we have a pretty nice little run between 32 and 60, 52, 60 area, and they tried bumping around in there, which to us they're all pretty equal. They're all pretty solid kids, so you're not gaining much by bumping around in those guys. So, but it was a good duel. They always have a nice event, nice facilities, good hospitality room. So, we definitely like going down there, and a lot of good stuff. The other big.
I've seen Ed was able to kind of do some bumping around down low, which is good. They have the flexibility to do that with two really good 6-pounders and kind of go back and forth.
Yeah, that's always having those, as Dane alludes to when get to team state time, having a couple moving parts, especially at the 3A level, which is a little bit harder because you don't want to bump kids out. And hey, we got someone from Fort Wayne commenting. But being able to bump around and play around with your lineup a little bit, we were able to do that because we have a kid still kind of going down to weights, so we bumped around our 52 and 60. But it's one of those things that we don't have that luxury very often, and you really don't want to because you have a pretty solid lineup, and you're not going to be having someone cut just to cut and bump him right back up.
Right. Right.
So
And I think that's like one of the things that people that aren't really familiar with the sport, especially the dual part, that's not familiar, like how much maneuvering and thought goes into that.
yeah, I kind of one part I do miss about coaching at Garrett is when we did have the movable parts and being able to kind of strategize. We need to bump this guy up, we need to do this or that. That kind of as I had fun doing that. Kind of game plan and that kind of stuff. That's at Carroll we don't bump around very much just because we're putting those guys where we want them early, and they're not going to be moving around, and I'm not going to bump the kids out of the lineup unless we have just a super stud backup. But if he's a super stud, he's probably going to be in the lineup anyway.
Right.
So it's kind of it's that fun. I do miss a little bit of that. So, yeah. Anyway, the other big one, Cathedral Duels, had some lots of ranked guys.
Yeah, that's a good day.
Yeah, Garcia versus Logan Bailey, 1 versus 2. Number 2 for, and that was a 1-0 win. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what you heard from there because I just saw the results and that's about all I've seen. I haven't heard it much.
Yeah, I think that was one of the matches, especially. I think they were kind of giving a little bit. They said that moving up because obviously going from 6 to 32 is a huge jump. Rick Hedges is watching it now, and jumping from 13 to 32 is a huge jump. And Logan did it and wrestled the number 1 guy, and they were like, well, kind of give me the business of like that's gonna be too much weight, and he held his own. Obviously the Baileys are tough.
Yeah.
1-0, like it doesn't get closer than that.
Nope.
Which if it was a 1-0 match and you didn't tell me the winner, I would have thought it went the other way because I think Logan's pretty good on top also.
Yeah. No. So that's and that's good for him to see that see him. Excuse me, earlier in the season, see the weight difference. See the. That's a big jump. There's a strength difference. It's a little bit of a style difference too.
Yeah, Garcia is seen now. He's seen Bo, who's at Plainfield. I see Bryce Allen. Watch out for Plainfield. I know Plainfield's good. And they're young. They have some guys coming up. And now he's seen Bailey. I don't think that jumps in the rankings. I think we'll probably keep him at 2. Those matches are the ones that there's no reason to change that. And Bailey's going to get tested this week coming up again because 32, I'm sure he's going to see some guys at the Trikoff.
Yeah.
That whole duel, you had Conley beat Slivka. And, Slivka's going to go out there, and those are the matches. And I know that Conley I heard he was going to go down to 52, but a win like that might keep him at a match like that might keep him at 160 and keep him in the mix there.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be interesting. And I think I even saw him wrestle 70 in one match.
Yeah.
Putting in the results. You had Rio beat Walenzek 3-1.
Yeah.
Elliot Rogers majored Trey /Roy /Sam whatever Reynolds.
one of the Reynolds brothers.
Yeah,
right?
Reynolds. I had to double check because I was like, okay, I know there's only 2 brothers. I see this Roy, I see the Jaden, and so
you see Trey.
If you see Roy, that is also Trey because he is the 3rd, I believe, is what from the inside county wrestling that I got. So.
And they had a couple guys out of lineup too. They have. Obviously not having
Brewer
in the lineup, but I think some of the other big guys like that I had heard that were in the lineup, I don't think they've been wrestling either. So
yeah,
Avon's not there yet. That's a good duel. That's a whole day. We could probably do a half-hour segment on the Cathedral duels with, the Culver guys. We watched that Wawasee Culver duel, Culver Military. Those guys are legit, man. Yeah. Those kids are good.
Yeah, they're good. The Culver, that was another big one that Wawasee streamed that. That's pretty cool to be. I didn't watch it live, end up pulling up, and I was like, I want to see all these, I want to see these new freshmen, obviously.
Yeah.
And they're legit, so that's pretty cool I guess import some pretty good kids, and these guys are, you don't get in the national rankings for top freshmen by being a pushover. So I know they've had they're getting tested. They're going to go to Trikoff this weekend too.
Yeah, that's exciting. I know, Coach Trevino's son went to Culver, so I know he has a good relationship with those guys, getting them into the Trikoff, and especially with that class. I wish they were there last year because I would like to see Manzona there, but that's a team that has, 5 or 6 guys that are going to win 90% of their matches, so they're going to be right there in the mix.
Yeah, the Slivka beat Brady Welch, who's a freshman, 4-1. So that tells you that kid's. You're a freshman at 160, wrestling a returning state champ. That's pretty impressive there. That was probably
Yeah.
the biggest match right with those guys.
Right. They kind of fell in some spots where maybe Cathedral's not as strong. Like Cathedral, like what is it? Like 13 through 60. They're ranked. I think and then 70, 82 are right there in the rankings too, right close.
Yeah, yeah, and I know they're 220 Ghoul, the 12th Ghoul, good old Catholic family.
Yeah.
He's pretty solid. I don't know what year he is, but I know obviously you have a name Ghoul. They're usually pretty solid kids.
Mhm.
You had Cathedral and Warren. There's that you had.
We have our first like true number one on the site going down.
Yeah, uh,
Antoine Graves, Penn Moscone.
yeah, that's crazy. Who else? Where is it?
That's man. Us, Seltzer and Pearson at the state semifinals and another freshman.
Yep, that's 4 or 5-0. That's pretty big whooping. And when you talk about that level, when you're talking guys, two guys are probably top five.
Randall Hayes says a goal. I'm guessing he's saying goal is a sophomore.
Goals are
Sophomore.
okay. Thank you, Mr. Hayes.
Those are like the Fowlers that I met. Those are just like big kids. They start big.
Yeah, yeah. I'd hate to feed them.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had Graves over Moscone, Slivka over Bryce Coleman 1-0, which Slivka is very good on top. So, and my guess is they probably didn't choose bottom. I would venture to say Coach Tante knows what he's doing, and not going to choose bottom against Slivka. I mean, he might early in the season just to kind of feel it, but I don't know. Let's see there. Slivka did take a loss to. Oh yeah, we already saw that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Any other good ones there? That was a good day of wrestling.
Yeah, that's a good duel overall. Like Warren Central, Coach Tante is doing a great job over there. You probably had it's 26. You had Waldensack and Ross.
Mm-hmm.
32. You would have Bailey and I have it right in front of me. One of the brothers. Like there's two brothers in the lineup, right?
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, like top to bottom, that's a great duel.
Yeah, it's 31-28. That's as good close as you're going to get. That's one match. That's it'll be interesting. Does Graves pin Moscone again? Probably not. But
No.
Graves is he's legit. He's pretty tough. So he's as good as they come. And he's going to be in the mix for a state title this year. And it's going to be interesting team state-wise, that, obviously shows Warren, might be able to, they got to find 3 more points in a close duel like that. And Warren does have the Tante headlock that they do like to throw. So, that's they're one win away, taking an 8-3 decision or whatever and making that a pin and blowing that away. So, and there are a lot of close matches there. Just looking at the box score there.
Yeah, a lot of matches that can go either way.
Yeah.
That 220 4-2 goal and Carlos Mitchell.
Yeah. I was also looking at Culver and Warren Central. That we do have that result. Looks like Brady Welch lost to Aaron Taylor, 12-2, which that's interesting because he just, he's pretty tough there.
Yeah.
Finnerty, their 120-pounder beat Chris Stewart. There's some other Brennan Cernas, he beat Carlton Perry 7-0. That's a good win. That's obvious. Perry's had some good wins. He already has like 3 significant matches already reported. So that's going to be, they scored 24 on Warren. Culver did. So they're just going to have to fill in those other holes. They're not a 3A school, but they're going to be in the mix for a 2A state title this year.
Oh yeah, them and Warren was a great duel.
Yeah, and they don't even have Sinkovic. He got hurt.
Yeah.
So
yeah, hopefully he can make it back.
Yeah.
And I think they did it with a couple forfeits, right?
Yeah.
They had 3 forfeits in the lineup.
Yeah, and you bring in Sinkovic, and that's gonna be very interesting because he's pretty tough. He's a ticket rounder. I'm fairly certain either that or he's right in that mix.
Yeah, with Warren, that's a tough match with Ross, but. You gave up a forfeit at 45, 52, 26. So, heavyweight, and I know that they had those guys the other night when they wrestled YYC. So
Yeah. So we'll.
it should be interesting to see them next
Yeah,
weekend.
they're going to be interesting. They might see Cathedral again. I don't know. We'll get into that. I guess we can just talk about next week anyway.
Well, you want to? I mean, like there was also there was another one we said, right?
There's Harvest
There was
Classic,
another.
Shamrock, Cathedral.
Okay,
Obviously,
I seen.
Wallace, the good two-way match, Wallace and Culver. That was a pretty good one. I think that was pretty much the big ones. I mean, we had the NECC duels. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I know. I mean, a couple guys were out of state. Brownsburg was out of state. I know Jose Diaz is on here. I seen Giovanni Diaz wrestled Colin Regan at the Winamax Super Duel. I think that was the rematch of the semi-state championship last year in Chicago, and Diaz won pretty fairly. I think 7-0.
yeah. So,
AJ Bradley said, "So in the last 10 Indiana high school wrestling years, who's the best wrestler you've seen, best match you've seen, and best duel?"
jeez, way too many questions.
No, AJ's been there since day
Yeah,
one. Though.
yes, he has. Man, best wrestler. I mean, Certsis, Red. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd say probably Red or Red probably. Because
Yeah, probably.
he won everything. He won Fargo. He won Super 32. Who's number one? I mean, there wasn't a event that he didn't enter and win. Which is, I mean, he got like the trifecta, I guess, off season. So
I would say like almost the first two, right? Like he might have been the best wrestler. I mean, maybe not like best like single season, like a guy like Howe, like that would have to be right then the cut of this 10 years, right?
yeah, 2008.
I don't know if like, he dominated like that. I don't know if there's a lot of like Mason dominated last year. I don't know if a lot of people dominate like that, but like just in general, like Red, like best wrestler, and then like that Red Lee match, like that's like one of those matches that I feel like, I mean maybe I'm biased because we were pretty close and we were right there, and I like both those guys, but um, that was a great match.
Yeah.
I thought that lived up to the hype. I thought that
That was as high as level of a match we've had in the state finals. I mean, you're talking two nationally ranked guys, top 5 both, nationally. Usually they avoid each other. They usually have the mutual agreement that, hey, I'm going to go up, you'll go down, whatever. And
right.
And that was good. Best. I mean, by far that's the best match. I mean, the place was packed. It was loud. It was electric.
Oh that felt great.
Yeah, it was a fun evening, and then it kind of just the aerial out. Wow, what a match, and
Right.
and both are having strong collegiate careers, so that's always good to
Yeah.
see.
Both All American as freshmen.
Yeah.
Like that's I think I stand by that. Like Nick Lee's the best one-time state champion in Indiana history.
Yes, that you're probably that's pretty easy. I leg to stand on there.
Best duel.
There's been a lot. I mean, I know I've been a part of a couple but those aren't like ones that everyone was a part of. But man, best duel would be, I don't know.
I mean, there's been some good ones. I mean, I obviously like we would have to fall. What year did they stop doing team state before they started doing the IHSWA thing?
It's been about 5 or 6 years now. So, and we really didn't do too much with team state, so it was kind of hard to kind of figure that out. That'd be when we'd have to really kind of do some deep. I know I'd have to do some deep. I know I've been a part of some pretty fun duels. I mean, there's a Belmont Carroll match, first one we did, came down the last match, and our kid pinned theirs after being on his back and down like 10. And our kid was actually a former Belmont kid too, which the place was there. It was electric, and then they just went silent. It was at Belmont too. That was my favorite, but that's
Cathedral and I think Cathedral Perry was good last year. Brownsburg and Perry Meridian at Team State last year was a great duel.
Yeah, Brownsburg and Warren 2 years ago or 3 years ago, when Brownsburg was like a 4 seed and Warren was end up winning winning individual state. USA versus Indiana, yes. That's
number one, top of the list.
Yeah, that's a given. Now,
I thought
that Warren versus Perry match or Warren versus Brownsburg match when Lee and Mills and Walton, all of them were all freshmen. I think that was pretty good, especially because it was a pretty significant upset. On paper was Warren was heavily favored, and Brownsburg got a couple pins. I know Mills pinned his guy and a couple other big matches.
Portage versus Mater Dei, where they the Portage kid Alec Luna rode Matt Lee for 2 minutes to keep it to a decision. They needed like a major to tie, which would have went to tiebreaker. It went to Mater Dei. That was good. A lot of good duels. I mean, obviously, that's one of those things. All right, back on schedule. Sorry, bro.
No, the team state actually has being able to, when we're able to bring in more than just the teams from the top four corners or whatever. It's a lot better now. I think that we can make sure we're getting as close to the top 12 teams as possible, and that makes for a lot better duels and all in one place that we all can see. So
yeah, those have been great. Yeah. I feel like the atmosphere in there has been great. The 1As have been great. The 2As have been great.
Yeah. Yes, we do realize a lot of people from the region. They're even a little early here. So we'll go this week. Fun stuff. A lot of good. I think it's the wrestling starting to heat up. I don't know if I think a little bit of the schedule changes. I think a lot of teams started kind of they axed a little bit of their early season stuff. So it seems like this weekend it really started to heat up. This next weekend's going to be good. We got Avon versus Brownsburg. There's no love lost between those two schools.
No.
So that's going to be a good one. I don't know the exact matchups. Brownsburg was in Ohio this past weekend. Their lineup looks pretty solid. They have a lot of new names that we all really don't know. We know they're going to be pretty well solid. They're going to be pretty good. They're going to be well coached. Avon, obviously, they're the young guns are the experienced guns now.
Yeah, and you hope kind of Avon has some of their guys in the lineup where they've missed some guys. But you hope that they're back for this duel. This is usually pretty big. I'm not sure where it's at this year. I know that they've been making that a pretty good event. I know Snyder did a good job of making that Mishawaka Penn a good event. And now I know this has been their big rivalry.
Yeah.
So
no, that should be a good one. I think we'll probably get correct. I think it's at Brownsburg. I'm fairly certain. I remember last year was at, because I don't know. We got 50-50 chance.
Anyone's at Dream Team, they know that they can put on a pretty good presentation.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, they do a good job with the spotlight and stuff. The Jim Nicholson at Elkhart Memorial. That's a kind of a individual pool, round robin ish event. Penn, Wheeler, Jimtown. Penn, they're gonna have a different lineup every week because Brad Harper likes to do that kind of stuff and stop doing that.
I talked to those guys. I got to the bottom of it this week, and I asked them why. They said ACTs. They had a lot of guys out with the ACT.
Yeah. See, that's a lie because it's SATs. Maybe Harper can't spell SATs.
I didn't get it from Harper. I got it from another source.
Yeah. We had a few kids out too. But yeah, that's Penn's gonna have their random guy. I don't know what they have 87,000 kids on their team, so they're gonna send a bunch of kids there. Jimtown has their horses. So that'll be interesting if they match up. Wheeler has some good kids. Hey, Larry, we'll get into that.
Coach Slagle, man, that's my guy.
Yeah, so it should be some good match. Always a good event. Got the Tom Cameron at Maryville. Should see Wawasee and Maryville. That should be a good duel. Kind of get
Harrison. Harrison. Also.
Yep. Harrison. See how Harrison is. Maryville and Wawasee should have. We haven't really seen much of Wawasee yet. That should be a good couple tests for them.
And Maryville's been kind of rolling people. I think they're kind of the team that everyone in the region's kind of sleeping. I think they're pretty solid top to bottom. I know. Talking to one of their former coaches now, he's coaching at Calumet College. He said everyone in their lineup has had some kind of varsity experience. So which is always a big thing when you're getting young guys.
Yes, that's very important. I know that personally. We have a bunch of new guys in the lineup, and it's hard to tell what they're going to do without that experience of being in the varsity lineup. One of the new ones, I guess it's not new. I'm pretty certain this has been going on for a while, but it looks like they upped the ante here. The Perry duels. It's not a Quinn duel Tante, whatever you call those dumb things. I don't even know what you call that, a Quinn duel. But Perry duels, you have Perry, Columbus East, Greenfield Central, Mason, Ohio, Oldham County, Kentucky, and Warren Central. So that should be some great matches there.
Yeah, Mason always has some tough kids. That's where
Donathan's, I believe.
yeah, Donathan's is
Yeah,
from, right?
and Oldham County, I think they're pretty solid from what I can recall. I think they send some guys to IPO. Kentucky always sends a bunch of guys there.
It's a good tournament.
Yeah. And Greenfield Central has some horses, so that's gonna be a pretty good event. Definitely curious to see Perry versus Columbus East, Perry versus and Warren Central. Those three.
I'm sure that's a good duel with Warren Central and Perry. I mean, even with Tante being at Warren, he's probably coached a lot of those guys when they were small, younger.
Yeah. So and Columbus East had a pretty good weekend. I know they dominated at Jeffersonville, so be a good test for them. See where they're at. Obviously there's going to be some team state seedings on the line here. Obviously, Perry's going to want to put on Cathedral or Warren Central to show that they might be a little bit better in Cathedral. So that's going to be interesting there.
And Perry's a team that's solid top to bottom. Like Columbus East is like one of those teams I think that's kind of a wild card too because they have so many horses and then they're always a good program and then they went out and got an NCAA champ as a coach.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like let's just bring this NCAA champ in to help our guys get better.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, that should be a good one. And Columbus East has some new guys in the lineup that I know had some good youth experience and youth credentials. So it's good to see how it's gonna be a good. How good are they? That's what we always say about these freshmen. How good are they without seeing a lot of them?
Diaz trying to mix it up on here. Did I say Portage was down or I say they were young?
Uh-oh.
I don't think he would disagree.
Nah, yeah, it's hard to replace guys like that every year.
Yeah.
So,
sorry.
And then the big one, the Trikoff Memorial.
Yep.
If you go there, you'll see the statue of Mike Reiser at Calumet New Tech High School. As they say on the radio.
That's not true. It's such a good tournament. I love that tournament. Last year was the first year I'd ever missed it since when I was like an 8th grader, and just every year they have a ton of great matches. Coach Watkins does a good job of kind of filtering some of the teams we were talking about. How they get new teams in every year. I know Joe's wanting to get Carroll in there.
Yeah, you listen to that there, Watkins?
I know. I always say that I wish that we would pull. I mean, not just Carroll. If it's not Carroll, it's fine. But I think it's such a good tournament. It was almost like one of those things that it's like the Al Smith. Like how leaving the Al Smith, how like East Chicago semi-state's going to kind of play out pretty similarly because there's a lot of those matches are going to happen in the tick around. I think that used to be a good test for like team state, and I think it would be good to get a good Fort Wayne team in there. Whoever's the best Fort Wayne team should, kind of get in that mix. They got a good pool. They got some teams from down south. They have some teams from Indy, some teams from South Bend, the region, obviously.
Yeah. Big teams there. You got Crown Point, Culver Academies. That's their first year there. Floyd Central's always solid. They're always well coached. They always have good kids. Franklin Community, I think they're a little bit down. They're kind of I think they have some young kids. They have a couple good guys coming back, but they're still kind of building up. Coach Hossman always has a good team. Cathedral, Lowell have a few good kids. Mishawaka will be good. I think they're just not. Mishawaka's just getting some of their football kids back, so they're going to be pretty tough. Portage, obviously. South Bend Riley always has some good kids. And then Westfield has some solid kids. So it should be a good event. I mean, our kind of top 4 that we are looking at, Portage, Cathedral, Crown Point, CMA, and Mishawaka and Westfield. So it should be, those are about top 6 teams just on paper right now that we've seen. But that should be.
Floyd Central, I know they came and competed well. They have another, good incoming guys. So I don't know. It's always difficult. It's, Coach Watkins seeds it himself. So there's always some – that's not like a knock.
Yeah.
So there's always some times, you're not always going to agree, but there's going to be some spots where you're going to see some early matchups, especially even the teams that are, I guess, they do what's called the brawl behind the wall, which is they put two mats in the wrestling room. So generally, like your bottom four, which is like whoever, they always have a couple tough individuals, and it's good for those guys. Also, I know that Lake Station has a set of brothers that's really tough at 6 and 13. So whoever they draw early on, I hope it's a team that has a tough 6 and 13, because you want to see those guys on the. You start off on the main floor. So if you draw one of the first four seeds, you can get you then go up to upstairs, and if you lose upstairs, you go to the room. I don't know, Joe. You've never been, right?
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times.
Okay.
We did a couple broadcasts back in the day from there. I know one was a little bit failed, but yeah, I've been there a couple of times when I was at Garrett and we didn't have anything that weekend. It was a lot of fun. Visited family and stuff like that.
Nice.
So
I'd like to get Region Sports maybe to broadcast the finals, because I think that the Final Four are always really good. So if you wrestle one of the top four seeds, you're on the main floor to start off, which would probably be like, I know we talked about it, Cathedral, Portage. I hope Lake Station and Portage don't match up first match. And Jim Watkins does a nice job of that. He's not gonna, he kind of misses some conference stuff. But Portage and Lake Station are literally next door to each other. And I just seen Andreas Russi and Jacob Moran. I'd like to see Andreas Russi and possibly, maybe Seltzer, who's up there, and give those guys kind of some opportunity to see those guys. Calumet has AJ Fowler. I know I don't want to say that they're down, but I know they're young. But that's a good 220. So whoever has a good 220 down there, I think he's ranked number 2 in the state right now. So it'd have to be someone really good.
Yeah.
To give him that good push, because those are the matches you look for, especially in that setting.
Yeah, definitely. And like we said about dual tournaments, it's all about what there's going to be 30 guys that are ranked there, but they might not hit each other because they just getting wrong sides of the pool, wrong sides of the bracket. So a lot of these guys are, Portage, Cathedral, Crown Point, CMA, Mishawaka, those guys always they're going to be in the top 6, 8, and they're going to probably hit each other a little bit. If they're not, and I do like how they do it, not the Final Four, and they all wrestle each other, which is nice.
If you had a guess for the top 4, it would probably be, not in any order. I don't want to go into predictions.
Yeah.
You're looking possibly like a Cathedral, Portage. You could have a Brock Peel, Waldziak. You could have Zeke Seltzer, Moran, Slivka, and DJ Washington again.
Yeah.
Well, Hegedus and Bailey. That's some good matches. You're gonna have Jesse Mendez. I know Mendez kind of missed some matches there at Westfield. I really want to see him and Curtis. Obviously, Yorktown's a little down from what they've been, so we didn't get to see that. But you're going to be able to see Jesse Mendez and Waldziak, and you'll be able to see him and Brock Peel. And I know those are the matches that they're looking for.
Yeah, Mendez, Hegedus, most likely there. Let's see who else is we. Yeah, those are all the guys that are ranked there. Should be some good matches there.
Floyd Central's good at 13. They're good at 32. JJ Conway's there. So there's always a ton of. Cernus. If you haven't seen that kid wrestle at 106, that kid's a machine. He's really good. I don't know who would be the next top ranked 6-pounder there. Roberson.
Yeah.
Junior Roberson from Crown Point.
You have Roberson. Man, that's about it.
Mishawaka could be in that. That could be Mishawaka CMA for that 4-spotter. Mishawaka and maybe Floyd Central, one of those teams. Even that second round's gonna be really tough. The top 8 there should be pretty good. Mishawaka, I don't know who's gonna go. Where Mishawaka's really good is also where Culver Military is really good.
Yeah.
You're gonna run out there. Sandifer at 95, and you're going to have 82 Laplace and Donahoe. You're going to have Joe Walker and Welch or Eli Pack.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty. That's gonna be a pretty good duel if they wrestle, and they're gonna see each other at regional too. So, those are some matches that's gonna create some ugly. That regional will create some ugly take around matches.
So yeah, you're lucky. Oh yeah, that's always one of those ones. Lowell has a ton of guys in there. You can have maybe that Crown Point Lowell matchup in that second round. Maybe you get Mendez and Moreno. I haven't seen where Moreno's at yet. I think we have him ranked at 32, but he could easily be at 26.
Yeah,
and I know that Bull likes to chase those matches. I know that Moreno was a kid last year that was bumping up to 20 to go wrestle the Trianas and Peels. So
I'm not messing with anything. I haven't touched anything. Yeah, so Trikoff should be good. Hopefully, Coach Watkins gets done with the seedings and gets off here, and so we can discuss those matches.
He's taking a break, man. Hey, that's my guy.
Get to work. Can't be messing around here. But no, we always look for that, where everyone is and the results. Hopefully, they have internet there, and we can get some results throughout the day. I know it's a little bit hard sometimes, so I know Cathedral, Portage, a lot of those teams do a good job on Twitter, so that's where we're going to get most of our results, and we'll probably be tweeting that stuff out as we're getting it too. Yeah. So
Chris Trikoff event is always one of my favorites. Obviously, I competed in that for 3 years. I went to school there. In the region, they always say, "Oh, I don't understand," because IndianaMat used to have a basketball coach named Carl Trikoff. He was a good basketball coach. And they always say, "Why'd you guys name a wrestling tournament after him?" But Carl Trikoff is different than Chris Trikoff. Chris Trikoff was an NCAA champion for IU. Started IndianaMat's wrestling program. So just a little history. I know why, because I think he puts it on a sheet when you walk in. If you grab the brackets, it kind of has a breakdown of who Chris Trikoff was. And he obviously had passed away at a memorial tournament. But if you check IndianaMat, I'm sure it's on there that he is an NCAA champion.
Yes, we do have that is somewhere. We'll have to rebump that up, and we'll do that. But as a good segue, IndianaMat 10 years, 10th birthday. One of the first things with that first week, Chad Hollenball, the guru he is, put together a nice, fine little. This is the original one. This is original little cheat sheet with all the teams and their rosters. Who is wrestling here? Got everybody. Floyd Central. I'm gonna have to call you out. Come on, Sisson. I don't even know if Sisson was the head coach then, but they were about the only ones he didn't get. But I mean, just looking through here, and he even had some of the rankings on there. That's pretty cool. I mean, he did that in about a week. Went around, printed them all out, handed them out, and I know Mike said he has one somewhere out. I got this in the IndianaMat Hall of Fame, but this was one of the first things IndianaMat ever did, kind of just to get the word out there. And we got the original logo that
I got the
Mike
logo
posed for.
Too. Yeah.
Yep, that's version 2 of the shirt. I was gonna grab my other one, but it doesn't. It's a little tighter than it used to be. But yeah, that was one of the first things. I always liked looking at this, and there's some good. You had Mishawaka, Munster, Westfield's there. Let's see who the Lafayette Jeff's not there. Valpo, Cathedral. You had Brian Harvey at 106, 3. Brandon Wright. I think that was Wright versus. Then you had Lawrence North. I think we had Wright and Cash Quiroga. And I think I'll have to bring that article up because Chad, the title of the class went to Cash.
I gotta get Jose Diaz a T-shirt.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, one year they had like Certis, Cash, and Brandon right there.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. But yeah, just looking at this, some of the names on there from the first couple years.
Does yours have the rankings on it also, or not?
Yeah, it has their rankings on there. Mishawaka was pretty tough, obviously. You had Harper there, Sandifer. No, Nick Wiesjohn. That must have been not. That'd have been. Where was he at? Was that his freshman? That'd have been like his freshman. No.
Nick's first year at Finley.
It might have been because Harper was at 30. I'm sure Nick's probably not watching. He's doing improving stuff, so he can't yell at us. Yeah. So no, there should be. Yeah, it's pretty cool little thing. It's a little bit easier to get their rosters now, but Chad had to hound 16 coaches for rosters and projected stuff, and people still don't, give a lot of information out, but it's nice that he did that.
Yeah. I remember he came there, and that was the first time I ever met a younger, not as young-looking Carl Hungus, yes. Chad Hollenball. Just came up, he's like, "Oh, you're this guy?" I'm like, "Oh." And then we just said like screen names. I actually called him Carl Hungus for like the first 5 years I met him.
Yeah, and we still get lots of screen name people calling us screen names. So
yeah.
So the shirts, Nick was too. Oh wow, Man, he's old.
He's older than the site.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because I thought he was. I thought he was
I'm
2000.
gonna go with Steve Sandiford Senior. They just updated that board. I seen that they posted it.
Yeah.
I believe him.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought him and Harper were 1 year apart, and this would have been.
I think they were 2 years
Were
apart,
they?
right?
I'd have to. I don't know. I'd trust that they were, because that would put them three. Because this is 2008, 2009. They were at least 2 years
So
apart. Because they were 2 years in the lineup together. I know. I'll have to.
I know that. Yeah, so that was a cool thing. I have one. I'm doing a lot of packing, so all my brackets and stuff. Bremen Wrestling saying 2007 now.
Ooh, Bremen. That's Snyder, or not Snyder. Yeah, he should know also. So we're gonna have some arguments between some Mishawaka people. So nah.
I know I have my same copy of that. I kept that. I didn't, that was one of those things that I didn't know what was going to happen, if the site was going to stay up or if it was going to just kind of be like a 1 year thing. But it was definitely cool. I mean, obviously, Indiana wrestling's pretty tight knit, and I think having like IndianaMat has been a great forum, been a great like vehicle for that.
Yeah, definitely the promotion of the kids. It's always been fun to see, the growth of the website, growth of wrestling, and kind of be up front and have a front row seat to see that. It's been pretty neat.
Yeah.
We kind of have a little bit of a history of it. The reason we started it mid-season, it was not a idea that I ever wanted. I always thought there's some other sites that look good, and I was like, oh, it'd be cool if Indiana had one. I never wanted or envisioned myself doing it because of coaching and real job and everything. So, but the Coach Association had a forum. That's all they had was a forum, and it was pretty crazy. I mean, it was a pretty good forum. A lot of people talking, a lot of trash talk. It was a great avenue, great way to get information. But
it wasn't as moderated as our board, right?
No.
No, I felt like there was a lot more. I know Triple B likes to call it the Wild West.
Yeah. It wasn't. They did a good job when they did moderate, but it was kind of, they weren't on it like we are.
I think it was a lot more chest pounding. They had rankings, but I don't think they were as updated all the time as we're doing them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So Sandiford was saying that his last trike-off was 2006, I believe. So yeah. So yeah, he did graduate 2007. So they were 2 years together. But yeah. So yeah, the Coach Association I did like a semi-state rankings on there, but they never even pinned them, which kind of perturbed me.
Right.
Which is, is a good little resource and stuff. It is updated all the time. But then their website got hacked, not by me. I know Triple B, you want to say I did. He's probably not even listening. But yeah, I did not hack the website. He got hacked by something and kind of offered to help a little bit. They never got back to me, and this was literally right around Thanksgiving-ish time, right when everything's heating up like it is now, and people were going nuts not having the website. I think that people were like, what do we do? I don't have any information. Like, they're trying to get like team rankings out, and no one had any information, because that's where they went for team results, anything like that. And a lot of just people were going nuts. Everyone was like, what do I do? I don't know what to do here. So I ended up, Chad Homball, Eric McGill kind of were talking me into it. Chad was at Culver and Eric was at Cornell.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, I'll do rankings. I'll do the individual rankings. I'm like, you sure you're wrestling and you have an Ivy League? Yeah, I can do them. He's 1,000 miles away or whatever. I don't know how long it is. It's a long.
Yeah, he's like a beautiful mind, though. He's a borderline genius.
Yes, he is. So, yep, and they both started help, and I added, obviously we talked about last week, Mike jumped on doing the Maryville, now East Chicago rankings. Dustin and Dustin started doing the Evansville rankings. Dustin and we had some quarrels together. I didn't always totally hate him, but no, mended a little bit of fences there. But yeah,
quarrel in the group chat.
Yeah, now Dustin's a great guy. I always had, we always don't always agree with everything, but always been good friends, and always joked around with each other and still do. So he did that. We got rankings going. Even Cameron Drury, better known as Dingo Brigade, and also the an extra medium, nice, it's medium. Dingo and we had a few banters going back and forth and mended fences. He's a great writer and can make a 1-0 match sound like it was the most exciting thing on earth. He could probably write about paint drying and it'd be exciting. But mended that fence and he joined in, has been writing some articles ever since. He's a great writer. And then obviously Dane Filling, he did the team rankings and he kind of was doing a little bit of shoot website with like team results and stuff, but it was hard to keep up. And so I know we're getting closer to kind of his and I's visions of having team results and stuff. Where we were talking before, I'd want some kind of scheduling. I'd love to see a schedule of, just trying to figure out exactly how to do a database with all of that kind of stuff in there, because wrestling's so hard with invitational, super duels, and regular duels. Football, baseball, that stuff's easy when you can, have the same. It's who's playing. Just like this weekend at Shamrock, there are 16 teams, but not everyone's wrestling, and that's a kind of crazy. So nice. We don't have any children mediums. Sorry, but yeah. So that's kind of the brief overview of IndianaMat's history. How we started, and then we just kept growing, kept adding things, kept having different visions. Had couple different versions of the website, and I think this one's going to be one that we keep for a while just because it's lots of information on there, and hopefully it's easy to find.
Yeah, I think it's gone through some good transformations. I think that there's always every couple of years, and it's not every year, but every couple of years there's something that comes up. Like we did the one year you guys built the website and it had the profiles.
Yeah,
and that was really cool. And then the next year they would have then now we have the history going in now, and I think that just having that is one more thing. We're doing the articles. I know like Nick's talk about doing more live events, which I think would be cool.
Yeah, definitely. We've been talking about that, live events, and the profiles. I love those profiles. That's always cool for the kids. They can send them to college coaches, and there's information. You can put your GPA, your SAT scores, things like that. And I know, if you look up a random wrestler, and when they're first on Google, you Google Jordan Slivka, and one of the top results is IndianaMat profile. That's pretty cool. You have the track wrestling profile, and then there's an IndianaMat profile. It's pretty high up there. So that's pretty cool that a college coach can go right into Jordan Slivka and say, okay, he's placed first, fifth, and third, and this and this and that. So that's pretty neat. And some of them do have pictures, and you can upload your own pictures, just so you guys know. Yeah. We'll remind you guys that you can I did open that up a little bit. Hopefully no one does anything bad, so I don't have to ban them.
I think even on one of the cooler profile things is you have projected college weight and projected like attended major.
Yeah.
And I think that helps a ton. I know that we've talked to guys at IndianaMat that are recruiting, and they're like, they go on there and they see if maybe they can work something out, especially if that's something you want to look into.
Yeah, and I know I get questions, and I know, I do have the database with how many views, and I like Chad Red's profile has been viewed a gazillion times. I'll pull that up in a minute, but yeah, that's it's amazing how many times these profiles have been viewed.
Refreshes every time.
Yeah, I know. Let's see. I think that's that database. Record views 22,000 times.
And obviously, I think those things are awesome, and the forum's always great. And we have a ton of forums that I don't even get to go on all the time. Some towards the end of the year, I go on to the youth forums, and those are like very lively boards. Those are very packed. I know I would talk to Hector Mendez all the time before they got into high school, and he was doing a youth wrestling ranking of middle school kids, and we pinned that to the top. I know.
Yeah. I just like reading these comments.
He said Joe would return his calls to get it on there.
Yeah.
But I think that's a cool thing, because it helps me knowing like those guys coming in. Like I'm not going out and watching a ton of middle school wrestling right now.
Yeah. No, there's a lot. A lot of good information. Obviously, you can find tournaments. Referees can find, events to ref that need refs. You can find off-season events. We kind of have a little section there that not everyone posts in at the right time. I have to move a lot of posts, but at the same time, off-season events, people are getting that information there. You want to guess who the second most record? Who has their second most profile views?
Hmm. Is it Wyatt Miller? Sawyer Miller?
No, but there is one. I don't know. They must have put the one, two, three, four. The
Let's see.
fifth
Let me try one more.
best, the fifth highest is Briar Goodwin from South Adams.
Really?
He's above Ripel, Cummings, Sean Streck, Drew Hughes, Joe Lee. Yeah, he's above all those guys. I don't know what they must have just spent time just viewing that profile. It's over 11,000 times.
Really?
Yes. Mason Paris
Brayton
is
Lee
number
has to be
two.
out there. Brayton Lee at top 5.
Mason Paris number 2 at 15,000. Brayton Lee 3, just over 12,000, and Nick Lee is just under 12,000. So,
So you guys gotta get your views up.
yeah, you guys better I mean, Goodwin's just about 200 below Nick Lee, so I'm gonna keep his profile on there as long as possible. He never qualified for state or anything, but I am going to purge those people that haven't had any results, there in the future, not like right now, but those guys that didn't go to state or do like anything college wise, I'm probably gonna kind of purge some of those that were
Guys like us.
that were
You went to Finley. I went.
yeah. So someone's asking, where can I find middle school information? IndianaMat.com. Go find the youth board.
The forums link. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And then there's one that says youth. Click on that, and then it'll all be in there.
It's not as they talk a little bit there. It's not a lot, but oh goodness, but yeah, there's a lot of good information there. And I know the board's kind of not getting as many messages as it used to, but I think a lot of it's going social media. So anyone, I think we get a lot of good stuff on social media also, Twitter, Facebook, things like that, post. I mean, that first year there were almost 40,000 posts. There's 39,000 posts. Some of that's team results that people were posting information on and things like that. So that kind of stuff now goes to a different area where we get 5,000 individuals.
And then we lost guys like, Cali Boy that would post every 10 seconds. And
that was going to be a trivia question. How many different screen names has Cali Boy been banned under? No one wants to know.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, I think. So you had those heated, but you still have those hot nights like semi-state. The night of semi-state, I feel like that's always a big night where you could tell like how many people are on.
Oh yeah. It drags a little bit. The website does. We have to shut some things down, kind of streamline a little bit better. I'd have to see it.
Yeah, it'll be. I think this night will be ban the county hashtag.
Ban the county. I didn't ban it. It's been altered.
Maybe
I'll bring it back one of these days. But yeah,
this is the last run for the county for those guys. This is no, that's not true because he has Blaze.
Yeah,
he has 4 more years.
Yes. No, just looking through all the banned people. There's been a few.
Do you got a list of it?
Yeah, it's all on the thing. I'm gonna have to.
How many people have been banned?
Over 100, but some of those might be spammers that I banned. That I knew that we're gonna spam. Some were actual people that were posting inappropriate things and stuff like that.
Inappropriate things like, "Hey, you want to meet up and fight?"
That and or, yeah. So, yep. There's a few Big Macs there.
Oh yeah, Big Mac. I forgot about him.
Yeah, he tried a few there. Let's see. Oh, there's 1, 2. Oh man, there's some interesting ones, and these are all carried over from the old boards. So, yeah, I might have to just look through those and see who's all been. I'm looking through some of these, and sometimes I'll ban someone and unban them. It's kind of a So, yeah.
Sometimes you're moody and you gotta ban people. I get it.
Yeah. So someone says that I was a tyrant. My phase of being a dictator, and I said, oh well, that's been about 10 years of that. So.
Sometimes me and Nick like to say that you're Trump and we're like the side guys that say, hey, don't tweet that.
Yeah. Yes.
But on the 10-year post, they have. I mean, they have some stuff on here. Like obviously, a guy like Region Rat One's been on there since day one. AJ Bradley, AJ's been on there since day one. A lot. Do you have who's been on there the longest? Like the people. Like does it tell you how amount of time, or does it switch every time the board goes?
No. Let's see. Hold on. I can tell you who all when they joined. Let's see. Indiana Mudflap was the first. Then the rankings guy, Kevin Lovejoy.
Yeah.
The Stick. Duh, Region Rat.
Not Region Rat 1, who's the actual Region Rat.
The Wrestler 60160, Keith Wilson. He was there.
Yeah.
Blaine Culp was an early one. A-Wood 1. He's kind of been... I think he's the one that's out in California. I think he was on the thing. So, Indiana Wrestling Guy, Wrestling Mole, Greco Coach, C. Barnett. Those are some of the first ones. And I don't know if these are in order of when they actually joined. Let's see. Hold on. That was okay. Yeah, that's 12-2. The Commander. Or wait, that's wrong. Wrong way. There we go. Let's see. You have AJ's right there. Nick Petrov, HC coach. There's some Bus2 Gate was an early one. Y2 Wannabe, which is one of my favorite ones. Y2 1AB.
Yeah, I felt like there was one that was like otherwise 219, and they posted something, and I was like, I don't remember posting this, and I like
nice, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people that it got pretty hot pretty quick once the word got out about the website, which was pretty neat to see. Just like, holy cow, we have 100 members. Oh wow, we have 500, and all of a sudden we have just a gazillion members. So that's always nice to see. But yeah, that's it's grown, and
some of people's favorite memories. You want to go over this?
I don't know.
The committee with the subtitles, that was a good one. I like to watch it every couple months. Me and Wrestling Scholar have buried that hatchet, but I think that's one of the only times I ever really got heated on the forum.
Yes, that was awesome, and I think and it was just as a joke, and I know the Harrison people took it a little too personally, and it was fun. It was it was a slow time of year and got a little heated. Yeah, we do need a Region Rat translator. When you're, I'm surprised someone from Brushy Prairie can't figure that stuff out.
Navy 80, the inside knowledge of the state brackets.
Oh yes.
I know that was me because I remember having the sheet and I sent it out.
Yes.
So.
Well, it was more than just you, and I'm like, is this right? And yeah, Bracket Gate, it was the correct brackets, and then they got in and said, oh, let's change them, because there's a way that I knew of kind of getting around it and seeing at least first round matches. So, and I saw them, and I'm like, okay, this is correct. So, yeah.
Do you have the longest post? Does it tell you what the longest threads were?
I could not offhand. I do not believe.
Nick Lee, Chad Red talk. That was a long one.
Yeah, that was a lot of talk right there. I mean, yeah, that was a pretty good. That was a lot of good discussion there, and I mean, people were very heated and very. Jeez.
Dang, this bottom couple from Navy 80 kind of hurts.
I know.
I didn't even read them all. I just read the first couple, and I just read them. How you're a dictator, he silenced the critics. How Avon and Brownsburg rise of wrestling in the fall of the region. That hurts.
Yes.
Get the region on here right now. I think Drew Draper's at IU, right?
I believe so, but I do not think he is on the roster, so I don't know if. I don't know. I haven't heard anything. So I don't want to speculate on what, I know he's not. I checked like a week or two ago, and I was like, where is he? I haven't seen him at any opens or anything. but I looked on the roster and he's not on there, so I don't know what happened there. I know he's on the track roster, which means he was at some point there, and I don't know if there's a lot of things that can happen. I don't want to speculate whether it's everything from quit to injuries or, taking a medical red shirt or something, I don't know. Or maybe, he could be taking kind of a gray shirt. I don't know what the whole issue is, so I don't want to speculate.
Uncle Jimmy said bracket gate, and then the 45-page ISWA two-state qualifier
Yes.
thread.
Yes.
That's a summer thread though. That's not the one that like everyone. Those are the real fan threads.
Yeah. That was a lot of heat there, and
oh yeah, that's still a hot topic, I'm sure.
Oh yes, they've actually modified it a little bit. So they give you one free waiver if you go to like Flow Nationals, Scholastic Duels, things like that.
Keith Davidson coming in and changing things. I love it.
Yeah, no, I think good thing when you have someone that's been heavily involved in wrestling, that does help a little bit, and a little new blood kind of revitalizes things.
Yeah. Base, the 30-10th time class wrestling comes up. I don't feel like it's as much anymore. Is there still a big class wrestling debate?
It doesn't get as bad anymore. I think we've all said our piece on that, and I think more people are being converted.
Yeah,
the county hijacking, yes, that should stop, or you'll be banned again, or moderated. You weren't banned; you were just moderated.
Hook and half. I know that never. He never got banned.
Yeah, just moderated.
Favorite memory: Hook and half. He's one of my favorite posters.
Yes.
I feel like he's gone a little troll lately though. I feel like he's taking a lot of shots, but he's always one of my favorite. The hijinks of any followings of Cali Boy. Yeah. Big Mac, I guess can follow that.
Yeah.
I seen Danny Black this week, and this one's for Danny Bell.
Danny Bell, yes.
The coach who promoted the non-stop prediction of freshman Brendan Black's trek to the state title.
Yes.
Danny Bell this weekend. He was sitting right behind me. He was on last week.
Yeah, he was.
The pros and cons discussions of Mishawaka's Burger King crowns.
There's always some controversy there. The cat who closed
2014, Will Egley, Paul Conrath for a regional title on a last-second reversal after 6 or 7 pages of second-guessing criticism of modern-day fans and call-outs. The moderator saw enough to shut the topic down.
Yeah. No, there's some good stuff there. I know Hook and Half's one of my favorite. He always the history and stuff. He does a great job. He actually wrote that modern day history book. And I still don't have it in my collection yet. Hopefully they sell it for sale.
One too.
I need one.
I love the semi-state preview he does. I know Triple B does a good one also.
Yeah. Now the semi-state previews are always fun because everyone that writes them has a just drastically different style. Chad always has to insert some random geography. Whatever river is closest to your school, he will mention. on the east side of the Mississippi, we have the Delphi oracles. Whatever.
Yeah.
He always has some great stuff there.
I like when he used to. Remember they had Bailey LeHue, and he used to always say the former capital Poyon Central.
Yes.
Panther out. Regular promotes their work in the off season as an impartial or merely a wrestling fan.
Donnie Baker. Yeah, Donnie Baker hasn't been there for a while though.
No.
He hasn't been on for a while. It is interesting how you do see a cycle of people. There's people that join the website. There's a lot that are still there from day one, but oh man, there's a lot of heat going on in this chat.
I know.
We're gonna have to moderate this chat.
Dude, we're gonna have to get a Wheeler and Portage duel going at some point.
Yes. No, I just want to see the dads wrestle.
I know. This is getting too crazy on here.
Yeah. So, any other? How the t-shirts go this week? I know you said you still have some left. You gave about half of them away.
Yeah, I only took half. They had a couple left. Obviously Rick got one. He's in here.
Yes.
we clarified LDI stands for the short of Richard and Ricky, little Ricky. So, um, so we handed them out. Just anybody. I know I gave a lot to the McCutcheon kids. I think they're like, oh, you're the guy from the side, and I was like, you know what, you want a shirt? I know I was gonna give one to Ruben, but I don't think he wanted it. He said no. He said he wants to stay impartial. Um, we gave some Portage guys stuff. Who else? The Lake Central guys, obviously, they do a good job. So we got some Lake Central guys. I seen Jeremiah Reitz there. He was there. He's currently injured at Duke, so he got one.
Oh, nice.
But just in general, Fowler, we gave Fowler. When I gave one to the heavyweight from IndianaMat, he was semi-state qualifier.
Yeah, I saw a couple people tweeted that, so that's always good.
Yeah, I want those guys to tweet those out as the day went on. Yeah, this weekend was a little bit busier. Obviously you're calling a ton. You're making a lot of names up. You're probably butchering a ton of names. We live in a crazy diverse area where there's a lot of Z's that follow Y's and S's that it's weird. So I just go up there and do my best, and people are like, man, you do a really good job. I said, that's probably not that kid's name.
Yeah.
Kim likes to make fun of me. So remember like 5 years ago, there was a kid named Caleb, like Segil.
Yeah.
He was from down south. He's from Evansville. And it's spelled Kalob. And I was like, man, this kid, Kelbob, he's really tough. I bet he's like an Arab kid. I bet he's from like the Middle East. And then she's like, that says Caleb. So, but I feel like if you say it with confidence. So doing the announcing is tough to hand out T-shirts and announce because you're calling people to match 3 times.
Yeah.
And then if you don't call, I guess if you don't call them that 3rd time, they're upset because they didn't know that they were going to be warming up at that point. You get people that are like upset about that.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't work in order of weights. Like we're just jumping.
Yeah.
So this weekend I'll have the other half at the Trikoff. I have Grandma Bailey's shirt. I'm going to give that to her. Make sure she gets hers. Because Dane's package didn't come in, right?
No, it did not. We have some issues with the USPS. Sent out 3 boxes and another package. Someone ordered a shirt and a jacket. And you and Caleb got the packages. I mean, they're big boxes. They're
huge.
They're huge. You can't lose those things. And somehow Dane's did not get going anywhere. And I think it's in Indianapolis. It says it's on its way. The other package actually made it. It's going to the other little package was going to Crown Point too, where your address. So I'm like, how do these two? They were mailed out at exactly the same time. How one get there and one disappear? So
one was for Brock, right? We got one for Brock. We got his.
Yep, yeah. Brock's always been he's been a former gorilla at Disney. Always been a big supporter. Congratulations to him going to Wabash. Pretty good education there. So yeah.
We handed all those out. We had all kinds of sizes. I try to get a pretty good range. We had 1 3X. I gave it to Troy Hahn. Troy's my boy. So he's a big guy.
Yeah.
He had 3X. I split. I had 2 pairs of socks. I'll have a pair of socks I'm gonna take to the Trikoff. I totally forgot that I had put them in my bag. And at the end of the tournament, I'd given one to Moran, and I gave one to Mr. Moran, and I had given one to Brock, and he came and Donnell, DJ came up and was like, well, I guess I'm going back to Illinois. I don't get a free T-shirt. I said, you know what, man? I forgot I had these socks in here. You can have these socks and a T-shirt.
Nice.
So we gave some of the McCutcheon guys. It was just one of those things. If anyone came up or we had seen some people that I knew, we handed them out.
Nice. I know. So Dane, I assume he'll be. I'm not sure his schedule where he'll be this week, so he'll have a full box. I don't know if Caleb gave away all of his stuff or not, but I know he said he had a lot of people coming up to him. So find Mike or them. We'll find out if Caleb finished giving away all his stuff. He was like, holy cow, that's a lot of stuff. And sorry I didn't fold it. I just threw it in the box. I was in a hurry.
You know what? Kim made me refold it all to take it, and then she folded it into stacks that were like all my mediums were folded, and then when I got there, I just unfolded it real quick, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, she needs to come in and get in the stock room. So
I got Johansson a shirt. Obviously, Brick for 6 is on the board all the time.
Yeah. No, so yeah, find Mike this week. Yeah, Grandma Bailey did not get her shirt because Dane's
I
package
got
didn't
it.
come,
No,
but we got it, so don't worry.
I got it. I'll take a picture with there. That's one where we didn't do a ton of make them say hi. I didn't make them do anything crazy. I thought about doing some trivia, and then as I'm thinking about what I wanted to ask them, I'm like, that's pretty in depth. I don't know if a lot of people are gonna get this, so I don't want to do that. There was like two kids from Portage. I want to say one might have been Leroy's son. I'm not even sure. That were sitting next to me, and I was like, "Do you guys just want these extra smalls?" They had two extra smalls, and one kid had put it on. He wore it the whole day.
Yeah, I saw a
In the
picture of
time-
somebody.
Yeah,
Like I don't know if it was on Snapchat or wherever it was, but there's a kid in the background with an Indiana Mat shirt on.
yeah. He had a hoodie underneath
Yeah,
it.
I think so.
Yeah, he was in the Times too. So he was like on one of the pictures in the Times. He's in the background wearing an IndianaMat
Oh,
shirt.
nice. I'm gonna have to
So,
bring that up.
yeah, which is cool. And they were like super excited. They were like they were the big Portage fans. I let him jump on the mic for like 1 second. He's like, "Can I say one name? I want to do this." I'm like, "Yeah," and then he like got real scared real quick. So,
Nice.
but no, it was awesome. You just get like a lot of the people that appreciate it, and I think that's what it's for. And doing like the 10 years and the giveaway is awesome. I know that you do a lot of stuff with the site where you guys are doing trivia, and I love seeing those because it'd be 40 different things. And I know you're doing it because Sprunger sent me a text like, "Hey, who was the first poster on the board?" I said, "Dude, I have no clue. It wasn't me." Like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, so with that, I think we'll probably be back on Monday next week. Happy birthday, IndianaMat. Thanks for all your help, Mike. Probably some rankings Monday, Tuesday-ish.
Yeah, probably. If not, definitely Wednesday. I've been moving some stuff around right now, but it's like one of those things. If we put them out today, I'll get that text tonight or that email tonight. I'll be like, "I can't believe that you didn't see this result from this tournament you didn't even know happened."
Yeah.
And it'd be like, man, sorry.
Yeah. No.
But overall, no, we'll have it. They've been going pretty good. I think this was probably like one of the first times we've had a number one lose pretty early. It changes from the magazine to the site, but from the site side, Graves would be the number one at 45. He weighed in there, and then I think he might have been. Then 82. We had a top 5 guy lose. So, and a heavyweight we had a top 5 guy lose. So.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a lot of changes. So we'll look forward to those this week, and then we'll be back next Monday. Next Monday. Maybe we'll bring in someone else. I don't know. I know there's a lot we can talk about. So with that, we're gonna let everyone go and have a nice, great evening and Sunday night, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks. Thank you, guys.